Hi. Yeah, I know it's pink. During the winter times, I play a elf for Santa, and for some reason, the kids seem to respond a little bit better, and people say it makes me look softer with this pink hair. And really, it's not really pink. What it is if I try to strip off the purple, this is as light as it gets. It doesn't go white anymore. It's been purple for like 5 years or so. But not for long, because I'm just not that pink kind of girl, I just am not. All right, so anyway, today what we're talking about is a whole bunch of other things and different things. So I'm going to show them to you because I'm getting ready to send out some boxes and I want to do this for you guys. Nice bulldog. Just a nice bulldog. Got some Steve Books, Grandfather's Own, and it's from 14. Steve got sick, and then we no longer have Steve Books as our House of Calabash. But I do have a lot of his stuff cellared because he had ancient vintage tobaccos before he even put them into a blend. They were already pretty aged, and so I love his stuff, and I always have, and as they just got older. All right, well, so let's talk about things. So you guys are probably going to get like some people have already been getting them. This one's mine. I blinged it out to the max, but you know how I am. I recycle everything. So I found some belts that I was getting rid of, and so I recycled them into pipe stands. Now, they're not no great deal. They're just, remember, these were used recycled belts. So, but they did come in handy, I thought, and they made a really nice set. And I saw a bunch of people doing them, and I said, you know what? Why should I throw away belts or give away belts or send them, out to a thrift store or something when I can just make me some of these? So I did. And so you guys are going to get some of those. Some people will. Now, some belts were a little bit more flashy than others. So you just don't know what you're going to get. And then I also got some really neat tampers. So some of you are going to be getting these kind of tampers. And then at the same time, I got tons of these here too, the little checkers. I have those on there. So some of you are going to get some of those, and you're going to see some of the little, single pipe stands in there. And I think they're really nice when you're putting them in your case. Probably everybody's going to get a cigar, I'm sure, because I went to Western Cigar Company. I love those guys. And so by the time you get them, they might be a little dried out, but you know how to take care of cigars. So hydrate it a little bit if you need to. But be careful, because watch on those and see what kind of cigar rings are on them, because, it's a plain cigar. Nothing's ever plain around me. And then also, I found this. You guys aren't getting these. This is one of the. This one is so old. This is like one of my first reamers that my dad bought for me. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got these little knobs. Isn't that neat? It's just an old thing. And then you'll find that you got bookmarks. These are bookmarks, and they come in different shapes and sizes, but see how they're always a little bit blinged out. A lot of times they have little crowns and stuff on them. But the main reason that you're going to get these little spoons is because, along with everything else, I'm going to be sending you just little bits and tastes and stuff. Now, the thing to me is to get to try stuff without having to invest a lot of money and stuff in it. And I think it's fun to share, especially because, I'll get like this kind of a size of society, and it'll take me a year to go through it. And so there's no sense having something sitting around for a year if you can share it. And snuff, you'll notice that those spoons are very, very little. And if you've never done snuff before, then I suggest you take advantage of the littleness of the spoon, and don't fill it up too full. I've been doing snuff for a while, so I just keep my little spoons. I went ahead and just cut that piece up. And that's society. And so I'm going to send you some society. Well, I kind of thought that was silly. Why don't you just buy society? And they do have all kinds of flavors in snuffs. Different kind of textures too. Some people blow your nose. And be sure and blow your nose before you go to bed, because if you go to bed and you've been doing snuff 4 or 5 times during the day and you go to bed, the next day We don't even want to talk about those kind of boogers. And I'm going to send you all some of the scotch. I just got a new jar of that, and so, it takes a while to use. Well, this is from 2015. My very favorite is Old Mill, off the toast part of it, I think. But now it's just called butternut, and it's a little expensive. It's American made. He has some of the most wonderful snuffs you've ever tried. I mean, I loved. Go again. I do that all the time, don't I? So, what am I sending out today? Well, first of all, let me light my candle because I am probably going to have 4 or 5 pipes going at the same time. You'll just be getting baggies of this, so don't think you're going to be getting a whole lot. Oh, and another thing you guys will probably be getting are what I call little leather pennies. And what I do with them is like this one here, it still has tobacco in it. And so I'll stick my leather penny in there to kind of keep it from falling out while I'm doing something else. It also keeps a little bit of the moisture in, blah, 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 blah. But when I was a kid, my dad always had a leather penny in his pockets. And my mom, I can remember my mom yelling at him because he'd leave them in his pants when she'd do laundry. And although he didn't mind it because he'd start out with a really thick, and this is all thin lamb's leather for the most part, but he'd start out with a really heavy one like this. And after it'd been washed a couple of times, it got very pliable, and it became like this. Now, this once again is reused from something else. And I had some old purses, and some of them just happened to be soft. I would put the leather side down, but for the most part, just make sure it's cool. Only reason I put the leather side down as opposed to the other side is because the other side's kind of fuzzy and has a tendency to collect that. Now, these aren't real good leathers. These are just leathers that, once again, I repurpose everything. But even then, you're going to find out that some of them will be a little blinged out because, you know me, I don't do nothing plain. I am trying to decide, though, if I want to put my little, oh, that's a little hard one. If I want to put the little piece of bling in the middle, when you stuff it in there, or if it would be better put off to the side. So some of them, you know, gives you a chance to try. And then I did try using rivets, you know, thinking, well, something hard in there first. I didn't like that. So you won't be getting those. You'll just be getting those little soft ones. And if they don't have a bling on them and you want a bling, then put a bling on them. I'll probably be sending you guys one of the bigger spoons too. I haven't decided yet. I think truthfully that if you aren't used to the snuff, you'll find those little spoons more helpful. But then after you get used to the snuff, it's like me. I have a fingernail that I keep long for snuff. And if my fingernails aren't long enough, I do have jewelry. I'm one of those people that loves gadgets. And these are just, you know, like I say, this is kind of a neat little gadget for that. And what else? That was what we were going to talk about before anything, because you guys are each getting a box. Not each of you, but, you know, let's see. Pipes and Kayak, Ghost Cobb, Babyface Huey, and Danny Shore, of course. There's somebody else I was sending a package to. Oh, I'm going to send one to LaDon Mott. Going to be responsible for that. So, now, to the tobacco. Because old dogs and new tricks don't get along. And some of us old dogs just don't want to learn new tricks. When YouTube took the edit out, so there might not be enough to send. All right, let's talk about tobaccos. All right, nice little Bulldog Dunhill. It's one of the little ones. You know me, I like a little size. And everybody likes numbers and stuff. And so the numbers are 3T. 45 is at that edge. Dunhill, you know, made in England. Tan shell. Oh well, it's a Bulldog to me. So that's what it looks like. And you see how small that is? Hey, because this is one of my older pipes. So of course I'm not gonna tell you that I take pristine care of my pipes, because I don't. They're my pipes. I smoke my pipes. They don't get a break. So let's talk about, first one we're going to open is, you know, I live in the land of McCullen. So it's going to be some McClellan. And this is, I don't know if you can read it because it's so bright, Some Christmas Cheer. And this is from 2010. And it's supposed to just be hand blended Virginia's. And that's why I like it. It's just Virginia's. It's just nice mailed to Virginia. And inside of there, they have one of these little cards that tells you all about it. And each year there was a different little card and stuff like that. And I might even put it on a printer and copy it for you guys, just so everybody gets one of them. So let's open the 2010 Christmas Cheer, because I wanted you guys to know that each of these are being opened this year. Now, I have tons cellared, and I have little jars of this and that sitting around, but it's so fun to open a new tin and to share opening that new tin with people. Now, this is 7 years old. It's straight Virginia's, one of my favorite ones. And the reason, like I say, that I like it is just, oh, do you hear that snap? Whoa, that was hard to get off for a change. All right, and this, so you know, they call this a flake. It's a broken flake. And as you see, it's broken flakes in there. And, you know, people talk about that ketchup-y smell, which I find an odd description for it, because maybe. Anyway, as you open it, you do get that whiff of fermented tobacco, and that's what you're smelling when they call that a ketchup-y smell. Oh God, I love that smell. Nothing like a new can. And as you open these, because they're going straight from here into plastic little things, I got several different kinds of little plastic things. Some must be diluted, and the reason I use them is because they're just they're a little bit better bag, but I will be sure and put on there what it is. And this is so moist that, because it's flake, like this, broken flake, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to have to dry out a little bit. So maybe by the time you guys get it, it will already be dried out. But for me to try to load a pipe right now and smoke it, that would be just like silly. So I have dishes, honest. I smoke 3 or 4 pipefuls, you know, just in the morning time, especially if I'm here by myself. And then I'll load up 2 or 3 more. And then sometimes when I go around, I'll have 5 or 6 pipes that just have a little bit left in them. So I'll, you know, go around and smoke all those up. So I have some of these dishes like this. And what I do is I'll put out a little bit that I'm going to smoke into that dish. You know, well, it's pretty easy to tell which one that is. I usually don't have to label them because, you know, I'm the one that put them in there, so I know what order I put it in there. But like I say, with this 2010 Christmas Cheer, because it's a broken flake, it's very easy to identify. So if I forget, the next one that we're going to talk about is, let's go with the honey and chocolate. This is a McBaron's. This is not, for an odd reason, this is not McClellan's. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I was thinking. No, I have lots of others. This is an 07. I don't know if you can see that written up there. It's an 07, and it's honey and chocolate. And the nice thing about the honey and chocolate is it's not overly honey and it's not overly chocolate. You do get the chocolate flavor, but it's cocoa. So when you're thinking chocolate, don't think Hershey's milk chocolate. Think, you know, the deepest, darkest 90% cocoa chocolate that you eat. But not a lot of it, like just a little shaving of it. Okay, and so we're going to open that one so you guys can see that these are... I'm going to have to get it opened later. Be quick. Let's see if a little bit of help here. Easy to open my ass. Gone around the edges and kind of pull that edge a little bit. The thing about that honey and chocolate is, and I hope that you guys find that too, is that it's, I got to get something out here that I can smoke, is that it's a very mild. And you don't hear me talk very much about other than Dunhills and stuff. This again is McClellan. And you know I love all my Dunhills and stuff. But the Rose of Latakia. Now, for me, most of the time, everything. Oh, and what's more is it will have a little thing on it too, and it just more wonder what blends are available. Oh, it's just an advertisement. Okay, and on this it says the Syrian, blah blah blah, Rose of Latakia, blah blah blah, delicious, incredible, blah blah. I use blah blah too much on this tape, but anyway, I like this because what I'm sending you are blends that I do not add something else to. A lot of the flavors I will add another mellow blend. I'll mellow it out with Virginias or you know, and it's just why I keep poundage of nice vintage plain old Virginia around is because I use it a lot. There was the snap. Heard that snap? And this ribbon cut, it's beautiful in colors, and I just don't, that's why I set the camera over here, so I was hoping that you could get all the colors that this has in it. And you'll see, it's, oh, this is perfect. It's just moist enough that when you've got it held, it's holding it together and just keeps it a little. So this I'm gonna load into one of my Dunhills. Woohoo! Finally get to load up a pipe. You know me, I do that third up and do the baby bear, push my first third in just very lightly, fingernail against the side of the bowl, and that leaves this little hump in the middle of not tightly packed. Then I do the mama bear, which is, I fill it again almost to the top. Everybody loads different, and I do it just a little bit harder, push it just a little bit harder around there. Once again, that fingernail against the side of the bowl, so that in the middle, there's that little springy hump. And then the Papa Bear. And that's using my thumb, once again, my nail against that thing, a little bit more packed than I have been so far. And what ends up happening when you do that, now, I defy anybody to tell me that this smells like ketchup. Man, it's just, like I say, it's perfect. It's just perfect for smoking right now. And whoever suspects or who thinks that, you know, selling your stuff, like say, I think this is from '05. That can't be right. I'm going to have to look it up. Anyway, I don't need to lay any of it out in my bowl because I'll just smoke straight out of the can with that. Let me grab this lid. Oh, good job. And then the next one we're going to open is just going to be plain Syrian Vulcan. And the reason this is so burnt up is because I do this instead of this. When you're smoking this, think Wild Rose of Latakia, not Rose. I think I put that on my little, I did a little thing where I talked about each of these on a separate little video that I'm going to attach to the end here. I said, and even in that, I said, think of it more as a wild rose, not necessarily that hit you in your face American or English even rose, you know, where they have just that pungent. So you might be getting used ones. Like I say, this has such a nice taste. Yeah, and I know people talk about how they light it with one light and blah, blah, and smoke their blah, blah. Again, I got to stop saying that. How they can take and smoke a whole pipe with just one light. That just, it starts out coating your tongue, you know. and then it gets up there behind your teeth and into your gums and your whole mouth, and it just swells with that flavor. Is just a nice. You don't need to. This is fine. You don't need to thin this down. This is perfect. And if you were to talk about, I'm talking about all these tobaccos today. I'll tell you that this is one of my favorites. As far as having a Latake Balkan dark flavor that's been thinned down, this to me, especially now that it's been cellared for a while, because that flavor is just mild in every puff. There's no surprise pop of flavor or anything. It's just I'm sorry. I'm getting too greedy, and I do that when I get a tobacco I like, and I haven't smoked it for a while. I'll just take and smoke it all at one time, and that really does probably not good for me. All right. By the way, that's tea. Can you see my loose leaves there in the back? That's something too. You find what you're smoking sometimes dictates what you're drinking and things like that. Oh, see the bottle with the little skull on it? That's what I'm working on now. I'm going to give him a pipe. And and you'll always get pipe bags in your boxes. All right, now let's go to the Syrian. Now this is Syrian Full Balkan. And it's Syrian Full Balkan. It's got a little age on it too. And so let's pop it. Once again, you'll notice we kind of got a thing going where I'm opening up some dark flavors for what I would call dark flavors. Now, the 2010 Christmas cheer, it's a very just different Virginias, and you'll taste those different Virginias, and it has a whole different taste than the chocolate and honey and chocolate. It's kind of got it's a cased one. Once again, they're all old, they're all cellared, and I will send you pictures of the bottoms of the cans and stuff, so you know. So here we go, and here is the Syrian Balkan. One of the awesome things I like about that Rose of Latakia is it's in that ribbon cut. And this one here, I'm having trouble today with these. Ooh. See the nice colors in that? I say it's wonderful too. And it, but I find that a lot of times with a ribbon cut, this is like a ribbon and a flake. This is kind of reminds me once again of something that they scraped off the counter, when they were cleaning up after doing it. I think they call it a mixed blend as far as the cut. Once again, it's from Macallan. Now, there is going to be a little bit of problem in me smoking both of these today, in that this one and this one do have a familiar flavor, a similar flavor. So what's probably going to end up happening is I'll probably smoke this until I'm sick of it, and then I'll smoke some of this in place. And so let's go ahead and load up a different Dunhill. I love these kind of bits, that flat, nice bit on that one. Once again, I know it's a Bulldog. It's a small Bulldog, and it's a 3108 Cumberland. And yeah, that's tarnished, but I touch it and stuff, so it's going to be tarnished. And then I set it around, so it's going to be tarnished. I could go through and clean all my silver and all that on these, but I smoke them. And why take a chance on getting a different flavor or running a stem or something like that just because of the looks? To me, the looks of a pipe don't matter. Well, kind of. Every pipe is beautiful, isn't it? So I'm just going to load up part of a bowl here. I know it doesn't seem possible, but this size 3 bowl is really bigger than that 4. as far as when you load it. It shouldn't be that way, but in this particular pipe it is. All these pipes you also know that I bought at different times with different people. I'm going to go ahead and close that up just so that I don't make a chance of spilling it.